It's not gone live yet. Is it connected on YouTube properly? It is live. All right. Okay. Hi. Hello. Good morning. Afternoon. Kya hal chal? How is everyone doing? Once you give me a confirmation if the audio video is all right, then we're good to start. All right. Hi, Bhavik. How are you doing? Sahil. Hello. Hello. Okay. I'm going to start. Yes. Dr. Investor Durgesh. Hi. Bites and brews crime. Nice. Hi, Amza. Does the life school program work for international students? Yes, it does. It's, I think about 20 to 25% of the participants are typically international, like not from India. So yes, it works. I'm going to start with the questions right away. We had plenty of questions on the previous YouTube video. Again, repeating, most of you know it, but in case there are some questions that I'm not able to answer today, you can put them in the comments of this video, not on the chat box, on the comments, and I will answer them in the next session. I do this session every Saturday. Today is the 6th session of this. Okay, so I'm going to start some of the previous questions that we've received on the comments. First one. This is from K. Danush. They're saying, sir, for level 2, there's a practical skill module for equity research and I haven't seen it yet. Can I learn all the necessary things for equity research from there, and is it worth to learn from there? Now, I haven't reviewed practical skill modules in depth, so I wouldn't know a specific answer, but my understanding is it's a 20-hour program. It's something that everyone needs to do in order to receive their final results, right? You have to do those practical skill modules. So you anyways have to do it, but in 20 hours, is it going to be comprehensive? I don't think so, right? So you'll need, I'm sure if it's a content coming from CFA Institute, it should be good. But will that be comprehensive? Will that cover everything? I really have doubts. Okay. Next one. Elon Musk 7192. Elon Musk सवाल पूछ रहा है. Hi, currently work at CRISIL, was thinking about pursuing CFA FRM, but I'm confused between these two certifications. Which certification is best for my workplace in your opinion? You know what? I have some understanding of CRISIL. If you haven't given any other information, so based on what you've told me, I think CRISIL will have many more opportunities for CFA candidates and FRM, if that's the specific answer to your question. But this brings us to a broader question of CFA versus FRM, right? This I get asked very often. So I'm going to help you build some thought process on the two programs. I'll take some time with it, maybe 2-3 minutes. Give you some understanding of CFA, FRM, and which program is right for what type of candidates in my understanding. I would need something to write, so I will share my screen as well, so you get a good idea. Now my screen should be visible to you. The discussion is going to be on CFA versus FRM. CFA versus FRM, right? Now, in general, the way you want to think is FRM is a risk management focused program, but my guess is that more than 90% of FRM candidates and charter holders work in the banking space, right? So if you have a very clear vision that I want to get into banking risk management vertical, FRM is a better product than CFA. So it's a better course for you to consider. But CFA is a little more broader in the approach, and CFA is a little more inclined towards asset management industry in general. So the way you choose between the two is, if you're early in your career and you haven't figured out what domain you want to work in finance, right? You think that, okay, maybe investment banking, maybe equity research, I don't know, right? I'm very early, I don't know how these careers work. I think CFA is a better use case. But you have a few years of experience and you have a clarity of thought that, hey, I want to build a career in market risk. What program? Then FRM is fantastic. I want to work in credit risk, operational risk, right? Market risk, credit risk, operational risk. Then I think FRM is a better substitute. So the question comes down to, so someone who asked, he said, I work in CRISIL, what should I choose? So if you're confused between the two, right? If you come to a situation where you're confused between CFA and FRM, I think in most of the cases, the correct answer is going to be CFA. All right. But if you're someone who says, hey, listen, I know what I'm doing. I'm in the banking space and I want to, get more into regulatory compliances, FRM is fantastic. I want to build more on operational risk profile, fantastic. I want to work on FRTBs, FRM is fantastic. But if you don't know what these things are, if you don't know what FRTB is, if you don't know what operational credit risk is, then I think CFA is clear use case for you. So that's how you want to think. From a learning perspective, FRM is a little more content-wise, a little more maths-oriented. When I say maths, I mean a little more numbers. Whereas CFA is a little more, concept-oriented, theory-oriented. For example, you will not learn how to read annual reports in FRM, but you will learn how to read annual reports in CFA. You will not learn economics to a great extent in FRM, but you will learn that in CFA, right? So you want to keep yourself a little more versatile, keep your options open, CFA. You want to specifically focus on risk management, FRM. That's how you should be selecting between the two verticals. The reason why people select FRM, and which I think is the incorrect reason, they generally think that, oh, these are only 2 exams and these are short duration and maybe it's easy and therefore FRM is good, and this is completely incorrect reason to select a FRM program, right? Yes, it is short duration. It is definitely not easy. I would say FRM is more challenging than CFA exams in general. So that's not the reason why you want to select FRM, right? In fact, I'm sure you know that in both CFA and FRM, each level by itself is a certification. Each level will get you jobs, right? Or will get you profiles. So don't think of this as FRM is shorter, so I'll be able to finish it quickly, therefore I should choose FRM. I think that's the wrong way to do. The correct way to think is, what do I want to do in my career? If I want to build very special focused risk management career, FRM is the right choice. But if I want to keep my options open, I don't know at this moment, or I want equity research, I want investment banking, CFA is the right choice. So hopefully that kind of answers your question. All right, moving forward. Next question is from Parth Mundra 5032. Parth is saying, hello sir, I always have this question that how to make studying more enjoyable. How do you approach studying practically rather than understanding it theoretically? Great question. Here's what the question is specifically on how to study, and this is a very general approach that I'm going to talk about, that I think you can use whether you're a CFA candidate, FRM candidate, or any other candidate, right? How do you study so that you get the maximum out of it? There's a technique I learned, when I used to study for some of these exams, and I use this extensively, and it worked well for me, and hopefully it'll work for you as well. This technique is called And if you've been using any of the FinTree products, videos or juice notes, we've actually incorporated this. You might not know it, but that's how we work. It's called SQRRT. SQRRT, right? So let's say you want to study a new topic. Let's say just for the sake of it, let's call it industry analysis. Okay. The first thing you do is you survey the topic. Now, survey the topic is essentially answering why question. Why do I need to study this? Why should I study industry analysis? And generally, when I used to do it, I would do it on the internet, right? Just go and read up a little bit on what industry analysis is, what's the use case. If you're watching any of the FinTree videos, every session, first 10-15 minutes, what I'm doing is essentially building on that S part. So industry analysis I need to do because I understand stocks, I understand what ecosystem my company is operating in and how the industry is expected to perform and so on, right? Just an example. Then, very interestingly, there's a lot of academic research to back what I'm saying. Very interestingly, what you do after survey is actually you solve questions. Okay, now the reason why you solve questions even before you've done the topic is because when you start doing topic, it gives you a perspective of how to think. So when you know the questions you are searching answers for and you start doing the topic, okay, this was the question, now I get it. So always do questions first. If your CFA FRM candidate curriculum at the end of the chapter has some questions, right? Just randomly have a look at them. Do some questions first. Then what is this triple R? This is read, revise and recite. Now watching videos is technically all the three. But what you want to do is, if there is some topic, you want to teach that topic to yourself, okay, or your alter version of yourself. But you have to assume that I'm teaching this topic to someone who's a 10-year-old, right? And then how will I explain this topic to a 10-year-old? You explain that, and it's okay if you're talking to yourself. That's reading, revising and reciting. Reciting means just talking, right? Kind of repeating. And then finally you want to test on the topic. This is the mechanism I followed. And I think if you do this, you start enjoying the topic and you kind of truly understand it to its core. So I hope you find this useful. SQ3RT, survey, questions, read, revise, recite and test finally. All right, let's see what next. Suggest some courses I should do along. Okay, it's the same question, so maybe I'll take from someone else. Let's talk about Sanathu Devar. Hello Utkarsh, I've been working in finance ops for about a year. I wanted to transition to corporate finance. Is that a sound move? Yes. If you're working in operations and you want to move to any of the front office, middle office roles, that's always a sound move. In fact, getting out of operations as quickly as possible. Remember, wo AI wali talwar hai, right? The AI sword is there and it's going to hit the areas the most where you're doing a very mechanical job. So automations in AI is going to affect the ops industry the first. So just be a little mindful of that. Next, Yash Deshmukh, what's better, ETF or mutual fund? Okay, depends on what you want to do with your investments and depends on what you believe in. Very simple. If you feel fund manager has the ability to pick superior stocks and beat the index, you're doing the mutual fund route. But if you're someone who believes, in the long run, fund managers will not be able to generate any significant alpha, then you go the ETF route, right? So it really depends on what your investment criteria is. Next, Raj Shah. I'm 21-year-old, fresher, BCom graduate. I've cleared level 1, did 6 months internship as financial analyst intern, giving level 2 in 4 days. So I'm guessing this was posted 6 days ago. So I'm getting Raj's exams are already over. I hope Raj, you did good. After my exam, how should I find job as a fresher? What salary can I expect? Raj, I've answered this question multiple times. Just watch some of the previous AMA sessions. Job ढूंढने के लिए network and quantity. That's the simple mantra, right? You want to network as much as you can, and you want to apply to as many places as you can, even if it's a simple cold application. That's how you want to think about this. How much salary? If you've cleared level 1, you're a BCom. I think you can expect anywhere in the range of 3 to 6 lakhs, depending on your geography, per annum. Okay, Sushil. Hey Utkarsh, I'm a L2 candidate, recent BCom grad. As you mentioned in your last stream, that recipe for success is meeting point of 2 disciplines. I'm following development in international relations for 4 years now. I love reading about it, me too. Just the overall global geopolitics, it's fun. What intersection do you think can happen between these two fields? How to go about it? I want to move abroad eventually in few years, pursue masters. Okay, that's a good question. I think macro investing is something that you can explore. Macro investing means instead of looking at focusing too much on individual stocks, you're focusing more on global themes, right? For example, something like Bangladesh went through a crisis recently. Will that have any impact on Indian textile stocks? Because they have this spreads, right? So the spinning spreads, will that have any impact on their profitability? So something like this. So macro investing, very few macro focus funds in India, but there are a few. That's what you should apply. And the way to apply that would be to send them an email of, doing some analysis that you've worked on. Right? Something that's very nuanced, is that will give you an opportunity to evaluate your work. In the long run, I think hedge funds is a fantastic area for you. Especially if you're planning to move abroad, go study in the US at a reputed place, and then explore all the macro based hedge funds. That would be an ideal career scenario. All right, AK2849. Let's see what AK has to say. That's a big question. I'll quickly read through it. I'm a consultant risk analyst in property casualty insurance, 3.5 years. Property casualty is general insurance, right? Took 6-year career break when I was day trading. I was doing well, growing at 20-22% CAGR, which is not bad. 6 years of 20-25%, you've actually done a decent job. But isolation and loneliness of post-market hours got to me and I got a job back. You didn't need a job, you needed friends and family. It pays okayish compared to what I was earning as a trader, 12 lakhs per annum compared to 20 lakhs from trading, but I don't like the industry as it's sluggish, offers very slow growth. Would it be prudent to pivot into finance at my age, 32? I'm willing to do what it takes. My current plan is qualifying level 1, taking an internal job posting, proceeding with L2, L3. यार मैं पूरा सवाल नहीं पढ़ रहा हूँ, but I'll tell you something, AK. And again, for all of us, this is quote from Nelson Mandela that I really love, and I try to implement that in my life as well. That may your choices be may your decisions be driven by your choices, not your fears. Right? So think about it. It's very impactful because a lot of time in life, decisions that we take are response to something that we're scared of. Right? So the thing is, if you feel you're not enjoying what you're doing now, you obviously have to change. Now, how to change? CFA was a good move because that will get you opportunities in finance. And it also says you're trying to do some MBA from IIMs as an executive program. That is also a good move. You should be able to get some opportunity in finance. And your trading experience in some cases will be considered relevant. Okay. कितने questions दिए हैं आज के लिए? बहुत हैं. ठीक. Let's take one from Harsh. Waiting for my level 3 results, working in equity research since 1 year, US market. I reside in Mumbai. While studying for L3, I was thinking about private wealth. Should I switch to explore that side? Any recommendation? Which role should I apply? Or if I don't like it, can I switch back to equity research? Would that be a problem? I think so. If you move to private wealth, I think it would not be an easy transition back into equity research. However, private wealth has these roles called investment counselor. These are actually very good roles, Harsh. What an investment counselor is, these are the guys salespeople will take along with them to go to client meetings, especially if they feel that client is going to ask some tough questions, right? So these guys are multi-asset specialists. They understand equities, debt. They're not analysts, but they have a broad understanding of the entire landscape so that they can answer client queries and design portfolios for them. That's a good role that you want to explore, and especially for you because hopefully you would clear level 3 soon. But equity research is not bad, and US market is also not bad. In India, very few analysts who do research on US equities, but the demand for US equity research in India is growing on two fronts. One, a lot of research is being outsourced to India, right? So then these recruiters will look for people who have US equity research experience. Second, a lot of wealthy Indians have started diversifying some part of their portfolio in the US. I think I'll give credit to Parag Parikh Mutual Fund for warming up the country to this whole international diversification concept, because these guys have been investing in those FANG stocks for close to 10 years now, maybe more, I don't know. So that's also a good opportunity. So why not just stay in US equity research and see if you can just double down on those skill sets. All right, next one, Sunshine. I'm 25 years old, having experience of 3.5 years in ops. I'm preparing for level 1, considering automation, firing should change my domain, change my finance domain. What should be the best suited field in finance? I'm currently in reconciliation. Could you speak about CFA scholarships? Scholarship I'll speak some other day, but yeah, make a move into core finance, and what role, take whatever you get. You don't have a lot of choice. You're on the threshold. 3.5 years, you're already stamped as an ops employee, right? So the earlier you switch, the better it is. So don't be very picky with what profiles, what pay you're getting. As long as it's a core profile, not operations, take it. Divya. Good morning. Working with one of the big 4 in indirect tax domain with 12 years of experience. I've done my BCom and MBA from tier 2 college. I've passed level 1 exam, currently preparing for level 2. Would you like to build my remaining career in investment banking or private equity domain? How can I get into these? Divya, I'll be honest with you, 12 साल के बाद, if 12 years you worked in taxes and now if you're trying to transition, it's going to be really, really tough. Even if you have CFA, I think if you think from an employer perspective, right, you would still be a fresher. And why would they pay a fresher a salary which is equal to someone who has 12 years of experience? They will not. So it's going to be a really tough transition. Private equity to me looks almost, I shouldn't say impossible, but come chance, a very low probability of private equity happening. Investment banking, yeah, if you're really street smart and you're good at networking, maybe that's something you can explore. But again, you're looking at more middle office, back office type of roles. What skills are required? Usual financial modeling, good presentation skills, street smart. That's the skills you need for those. Okay, then I'm taking next question from Harsh Kumar. I've completed your level 0, looking to enroll for level 1 classes. Would be helpful if you can answer this. I've completed my engineering. I'm a software developer but interested in finance, looking to build a career. What opportunities CFA will open up? Will that technical background help? It will help 100%. You're probably the best suited candidate to do CFA today, especially because you worked in software development, right? So software plus finance is a beautiful intersection of the skills. it might create opportunities in variety of different domains. So yeah, right decision. I like it. If I start in September, should I target May or August? So, okay, all the CFA candidates, the minimum number of months of preparation we are recommending is about 10 months now, right? So, please plan your attempts accordingly. I think in your case, August or November, not May or August. August and November, that's your decision. And if you're confused, always err on the side of taking more time, not less. Suman Laha. How to keep updated with market, like which sites to watch, whom should I follow for regular updates? Good question. Uh, I'll tell you what are my sources of information. I generally like listening to this. It's not an Indian market thing, but it's just fun and interesting. I do listen to this Planet Money podcast called Indicator. It's a 10-15 minute, 20 minute, I don't know. That's something that I listen regularly. Then I have this app called Scout Quest, SCOUTQUEST. It's, I think, free for a few days and then you have to pay. It's not an app. What it does is, so let's assume I'm tracking this 15 stocks in my portfolio and I need to know what's happening. What this app does is, every time there is some news it's like a little bit like Google Alert but higher quality. If there is a new document uploaded by the company on BSE Exchange's website, it will read that document, summarize, that AI will summarize, and it will send you a short summary on your WhatsApp. So that really helps me to keep updated about the companies I have in my portfolio. I track about 20 odd stocks. So that app is useful. And then majority of the source of knowledge that I get is on the Twitter. I think Twitter is a fantastic place, especially if you're following the right set of guys. The ones that I like, one I can think of right now is, I follow this gentleman called Neil Borate. He works with, I think he's a chief editor or something in Mint. He has insightful post about updates on SEBI guidelines and more on personal finance. Then I follow most of the mutual fund managers in the country, PMS, AIF managers. I like what Deepak Shinoy writes from Capital Mind. And then I do follow some of the hedge funds in the US because I think these guys write well, right? So Twitter, and then some Scout Quest, and then some podcast. That's the combination that I use, and then YouTube videos once in a while. Okay, Sai Sinker, that's a big question. Hello sir, I'm a level 1 student at FinTree. I'm in second year of BCom studying in Pune. I do not have to go to college every day. I can give time for CFA studies. Sometimes I struggle. Do you know good libraries near around Baner for a quiet study place? See, I have studied Sai in the Pune University Library, but I was not a official member there. So it always used to be a jugaad type of situation. I have invested in a company that builds libraries. It's called Study Cubes. And ironically, we have one in Aund itself near at Parihar Chowk. So you can look that up, Study Cubes with a Q. So you can look up that library as well. And I think there are plenty of options. If not library, you can look for a co-working space, like a temple. We have so many temples in the country, right? Find some peaceful temple, you can go and study there as well. I've not found out exactly what I like yet, narrowed down a sector I want to work in, loved cons, but I would definitely want to start working after my level 1. Do you think I should take financial modeling offered by FinTree along with level 1 offered by the level 1 equity research course offered by Valuation School? Okay. See, I haven't seen this Valuation School, so I don't know. Regarding financial modeling of FinTree, if you have done level 0 course and you feel confident with your level 0 knowledge, equity research and accounting, then I think you're eligible for FinTree financial modeling. You can take that. I'm pretty sure you'd find it useful. All right, next one, Varun Santosh. I completed my degree last year. I started to prepare level 1 from June this year. I'm a full-time student. Should I aim for May or August? On YouTube, I came across telling 6 months is more than enough. See, YouTube पे ज्ञानबाजी बहुत होती है. Uh, I really doubt if 6 months is, 6 months used to be a thing in the past, but after the new curriculum changes, I'm skeptical if 6 months is a very comfortable. It depends, of course, from person to person how quickly you learn. But I recommend a 10-month cycle. Right, a 10-month is a very comfortable sweet spot. You're still doing your graduation, so it's okay if you take your time with it. The purpose is not to pass the exams, the purpose is to learn the content. There's a difference between the two, right? So keep that in mind. Should I look for any job interview now after clearing level 1? Because I don't have a resume. Yes, you should look for internships after clearing level 1. Hamza Asif. Can you guide on how do life school program work for international students planning for level 1 August 25? Sure, it's the same whether you're from India or international. I don't think it makes a difference. We're taking 2 classes a week, one on Saturday evening India time, one on Sunday morning India time. The schedules are there on the FinTree website. Every class is recorded, it's uploaded, you get a 48-hour archive access. So if the time doesn't match, you can always catch up on the archives. The reason why live school is recommended is because every week there is a test. The test schedule is also published on the site. You can download and have a look at it. And what that test does, it gives you a weekly target. Right? So instead of thinking of the whole syllabus and planning it yourself, you have a target. Is hafte itni cheez khatam karna hai. So you do that this week. This is what I want to finish. You do that sincerely. So we convert your entire level 1 syllabus into 30 weekly tests. So you do this 30 tests, your 1 cycle is done. If you're attending classes from now till August, more or less you would be repeating that cycle with us twice. Right? And that will make you super comfortable with the concepts. Yes, one thing that I do and I'm trying not to do is I throw in a little bit of Hindi every now and then, and it just happens unconsciously, but I've been very careful about it lately. So yeah, there will be a few jokes or stuff here and there which will come out in Hindi, but that should be alright, I guess. Hello sir, I'm 23-year-old, left CA, enter group 1, OKG, pass level 1, appearing in level 2. From 2 years, involved in my father's business, what to do in my career, getting anxiety. Will be able to complete FinTree lecture by 28th September. Decide kar lo yaar. It's see, all of you have this, if you're in your early stages of your life and you're confused on what to do with your life, right? The simple solution to you is experiment. Right, so you try out one thing, see if it works. If not, you try out something else. Do a lot of internships. It's okay to, work on 3-4 different domains before you figure out. And it's not that, very rarely you'd find a work which will be love at first day. It's something that develops over a period of time, and you have to take. So the whole idea of find your passion, I feel, is nonsense, and especially for a beginner. Everything is new. You don't know what I'm going to be passionate about. So you have to inculcate. So instead of find your passion, I believe in build your passion. Right? You have to inculcate that interest and knowledge into whatever domain you're working in. So start somewhere. Get an internship. There's a fantastic book recommendation I have for you. I've been reading it recently. I've not finished it yet. It's called How to Design Your Life. So this book is about design principles applied for designing life. Okay, and I think I should have read this book maybe 10-15 years ago, but I'm reading it now. It forces you to think of what you really want out of your life, and it's going to change, right? But what do you want right now? And then you reverse engineer everything that you want around it, and it should always be that way. All right, last question here, then I'll switch to YouTube and Instagram. Hi, I'm going to be graduating next year. I'm sure I won't be getting a job or a good MBA college considering my academic profile. I'm stuck in dilemma whether to settle for average MBA or prepare for CFA and other courses or do both. Yeah, if you're going to do a mediocre MBA, don't do it. Save yourself and your parents a ton of money and 2 years of wasted time. Uh, I think if you go on the street and randomly pick every fifth or tenth person, I think would turn out to be MBA. Right? This country is obsessed with MBA for some reason. It's almost like, because everyone is doing it, I have to do it. Don't go to a mediocre college. You'd be much more better off doing a professional program. And it's okay not to have great academics in school or college. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, right? I mean, maybe you're into something else that does not say anything about you. Does not mean you'll not get a good job. Just believe in yourself, commit to learning one skill, and enjoy that learning process. You'll find jobs. Okay, finally I'm done with this. Now I'll take some questions from YouTube. YouTube, now you can start posting questions. I'll start taking them one by one, and I'll take some from Instagram as well. Instagram, you can start posting questions. We'll do alternate. एक Instagram लेते हैं, एक YouTube लेते हैं. We'll start with YouTube first. Prem, I'm working as a credit analyst. Will FRM boost my career after clearing? What roles can I? You can, yes, Prem. If you're working in credit, FRM will help. I don't know what credit analyst you're in. I hope not with banks on retail loans, because that's the worst position to be in. But yes, FRM will help. You'll need some maths and you can build career on credit risk. Okay. Yes. Do you need a mic?
Yeah. No. Hello sir, GAP is introducing new certification every year. Is it worth doing them obtaining the FRM certification?
GARP कौन सा certification है? GARP is an SCR certification. I think that's the only one I know. Yeah, see, you know what? See, I don't know other certifications of GARP, but I know they have SCR, which is some climate risk, sustainability and climate risk. CFA Institute on the similar lines have ESG. So if ESG or SCR is what theme you want to build your career in and you truly believe in that concept, by all means go for it. But if you're early in your career, again do a more versatile, broader course, right? So instead of certification, look for a charter type of a program. CFA, early in your career, I think CFA makes a lot more sense than FRM. Okay, I'll take one here. Let's see who. Fayaz Ansari. I've cleared level 1. I've done BBA FinTech from Christ. I want to get into quant finance. What skill should I acquire from where? What about IIQF? Okay, I've heard about IIQF. I haven't heard great things from incremental learning perspective for CFA candidates. I think one of my students had signed up their program, but honestly, I have not reviewed that myself. But if quant is what you want to do, I'll tell you, you don't need fancy certifications. I mean, of course, if there is a well-designed program run by a credible institute, you can explore. But what you need is good hold on finances concepts, level 1, level 2. And you need equally good hold on the programming languages, right? So maybe a good starting point is Python, SQL. What you want to do is combine the two and do a lot of projects. So the way to really acquire that skill is to build a lot of projects, and those projects are your demonstration to the potential employers, right? And that's what I would do, Fayaz. Save your money and just, Python is available free of cost on the internet. You can learn it there. But yeah, if this organization that you're talking about has, some credibility in the market, by all means explore. Kapil. Okay, I'll take one here.
Vaishnav is asking, do you have any idea about SAP career?
Do I have any idea about SAP careers? Sure. See, it's an ERP. I know this because I did work on one part of an implementation project. This organization was transitioning from some, I think, Oracle SAP, Oracle to Oracle ERP to SAP, SAP ERP. My understanding is that a lot of the projects that Indian companies take, these are basically service-oriented projects, as in we'll do the transition for you and then we'll provide services. So this probably was a great career 10 years ago because there was a shortage of skill in the market. But building your entire career around one software by one company, to me, does not look like a very smart idea. So in 2024, if I had to choose, and if I'm a fresher, I'll probably, learn some stronger basic fundamental skills, like maybe a CA or a CPA, ACCA, something in accounting front or CMA. And then along with that, I'll learn some tool on top of it. But just SAP by itself, I would avoid. Okay, I'll take one here. You seem to enjoy your bikes. Can you disclose your collection? No, I don't have a fancy collection. I just have a couple of bikes, but yeah, don't want to talk about it. Sagar, I have been in boutique IB for nearly a year. My interest in P, I'm level 3 candidate, not an MBA. Look at the irony, right? People who work in equity wants to move to IB. People who are working in IB now want to move to private equity. Fine. Sagar, see, PE is possible, but I think VC is a better fit for you. If you're working in a boutique IB, then you're exposed to a lot of these early stage startups. So instead of private equity, I will look for venture capital type of roles. And how? Just by applying. Just apply and apply consistently, like one email a month, not one email a month to all the VC firms that you can find on the internet. Luckily, you can very easily on CFA website now. And a personalized email, not a generic copy paste email, right? Something very specific to the firm, what you like or what you can do for them. Just be consistent. Some of them will reply to you. VC is a good starting point, Sagar. PE, I think, would be very tough. Yes.
Ketan is asking, sir, which career path can have an intersection between finance and data science?
I think everything quant these days, everything risk these days is the intersection of finance and data science. So plenty of opportunities actually. Look for quant investing type of roles. Those are fantastic. Those can create some great opportunities. You can pick up some skills around that. Look for risk management roles if you're good with data science principles. Look for fintech opportunities. क्यों हंसे रही आपको? बाद में बताओगे अच्छा. Look for fintech type of roles, that will also help. Okay, अभी मैं यहाँ से सवाल ले रहा हूँ. PP is asking, I'm level 3 candidate, how is FP&A domain? What are the entry and exit opportunities? I'm getting shortlisted in Annex HR, ask questions. एक मिनट यार, आपका question, the chat box is loading up fast. So I lost your question. Okay, I'm getting shortlisted, ask question on email and then ghost me. In MX HR's ask. Acha. FP&A is a good area to be in. There's a lot of demand in the market now. I think it will remain that way. CFA is not a perfect fit for FP&A, but not bad. I've heard a lot of these big four firms have also been recruiting in European markets, especially in Ireland, for FP&A profiles. Look out for that. I have a few students who've gone there. Apparently, they're doing good. What you need to learn apart from CFA is some data visualization skills. Tableau, Power BI is a good starting point. And regarding HR ghosting you, it's fine. Just don't. The whole job hunting process, don't get emotional about it. It's a volume game. It's nothing about you. It's, at times it's situational at their end. They don't have money, they don't have budgets, they whatever it is, right? Just keep on applying, keep on applying. The more you apply, the better chances you have. Okay, I'll take a question here. Gaurang. I'm working in equity research for last 2 years. I don't want to pursue CFA because of maths. That's why I chose US CMA. Do you think it will help me in equity research in the future? Yeah, matlab, the way to think is, let's say you have, you know, you have headache, right? And you're having pills that will relieve your muscles. It's like there's no, you need to, if you need to work in equity research, then obviously, CFA is the program. And if you feel you're not comfortable with numbers, then anyways, equity research is not for you. US CMA, I'm not really sure if that's a program designed around equity research. I wouldn't have gone that path. And again, you don't need a lot of maths for CFA. I don't know who told you that, and I don't know why people take decisions like this. But CFA does not require a lot of maths. FRM will require a little more maths in CFA. CFA is much more concept-based exams.
Abdul is asking.
भाई last 3 सवाल लेंगे अभी.
Abdul is asking, sir, does CA and CFA both in a combination worth it?
Does CA and CFA work together? I think so. I think it works well. There are multiple reasons why I think CA and CFA work well, right? And multiple reasons why those CAs who want to build career in finance should explore CFA alongside. One is a lot of employers in India today, especially the old legacy employers, even today, they have some sort of a respect for CA, not because they think CAs are very smart, but they know that CA is slog. क्योंकि 18 घंटे बैठ के अगर इनकम टैक्स रट सकता है, this person can memorize income tax for sitting straight 16-17 hours, then they can do my work as well. So I know a lot of employees, right? Multi-Act in Pune, Motilal Oswal, Purnartha, so many of these equity research firms I know, they have a preference for CAs. So that's one reason why CA might help to a CFA candidate. Second, CAs are generally good at accounting because they study accounting professionally compared to CFA. CFA is a little more analytical oriented. And especially CFA candidates don't take FRA that seriously. So if you have a little bit of accounting background, that also helps. So if you're already into CA and you want to do CFA, fantastic idea, definitely will help. But if you're a CFA candidate and you think that, okay, I need to learn accounting, so मैं CA कर लेता हूँ, that's a bad idea. Because then you'd end up learning a lot of, direct tax, indirect tax. And during my days, they used to have this very stupid subject called MICS. And I remember distinctly well, I had to memorize 6 characteristics of a good data set, and to remember those 6 points and, all that nonsense. We had to literally draw a computer explaining, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but explaining, this is how this is used and whatnot, right? Expert system and all that bullshit in the CA curriculum. So if you're a CFA candidate, just learn accounting. If equity research is something that will help. If you do financial modeling anyway, सीख जाओगे. But if you're a CA candidate, want to build career in finance, CFA will help. Okay, one more question from your end, and then we will take one from YouTube.
Jaydeep is asking, sir, I am working in an investment bank in the operation division. Can CFA and CQF help me in transition to quant finance roles?
Yeah, I think so. See, again, a lot of people don't know this, but within quant also, I'll tell you, there are 2 types of recruiters. Okay. Have you heard of this? क्या नाम था उनका? Jim, the hedge fund manager who recently passed away. Jim कुछ नाम था ना? Now in his firm, Renaissance was the name of the fund. They used to hire all PhD maths and tech, background, and they used to hire finance-oriented people. So for a lot of quant careers, in fact, if you're a pure tech guy and does not know a lot of finance, you might still be okay, right? So CFA is not a necessity in most of the cases, in some of the cases. But I was recently listening to a fund manager who runs a quant fund in Siemens. Thank you. I was listening to a fund manager who runs a quant fund, and what I learned from them is that these guys are hiring CFAs and people intersection of CFAs and quant skills, right? So not a bad idea. I don't think CQF really adds any value. I've interviewed one CQF candidate on YouTube. You can look up my interview with her. Vidya naam tha unka. She's a FinTree alum. She was a CFA and CQF both. I've done like a 1 hour big podcast with her. I don't think CFA helps that much in India. I would rather go to US and do some masters in quantitative finance instead of doing a CQF. Okay, done. Last question on YouTube, and then we're done. Okay, is there a way to slow down the chat box so that I can fixate myself on one question? अरे यार ये भी इतने फास्ट मूव हो रहा है. Okay, I'll take Omkar's question. I'm a level 2 candidate with 2 years of experience in auditing accounting. I want to work in equity research. How do I switch without relevant work experience? If you're okay, Omkar, to take a little bit of hit on your pay, I think it's possible. It's not that tough. You know, if you've done auditing and accounting, a lot of equity research firms are okay with that. They like that experience because, you know, some firms have more orientation towards old school equity research. See, I'll tell you, like over the period of last 10-15 years, I've learned there are two types of research firms in the country, especially on the buy side. There is one firm which will say, some fund manager will say, you don't need 10-15 days to research a stock. 10 minute में पता चलता है कि खरीदना है नहीं, right? Within 10 minutes I can figure out. Now, these are the guys who are focused more on the big picture. They are looking at numbers, but they focus more on the big picture. They're not getting into nuances, right? They're not reading notes to accounts and finding details. Whereas I know some firms where they will spend 100, 200, 300 hours of research per story that they invest in, right? Very thorough, like even your White Oaks and all of these guys are very methodical in their approach. So in general, those firms which have very high research orientation, those firms will appreciate someone coming in from accounting background, Omkar. So look for, now how would you know which firms are those? Like as of, you wouldn't know, right? So you apply everywhere, you highlight your accounting experience, you double down on your accounting skills. So you're already CFA level 2, you learn financial modeling, and then in your CV, you mention that you have deep accounting skills, and then do some work, right? Analyze notes to accounts of companies and build your Twitter profile. And that will also be a part of your CV or your, cover letter in the email saying, I write about accounting practices of the companies. But I don't think it will be very tough for you. You'll have to put in some efforts to find your role. Okay, all right, done. I'm tired, but I hope you're finding this useful. I appreciate all of you coming on a Saturday morning, participating in these sessions. I know I have not been able to answer many questions here, but I'll try and answer them, in the subsequent session. All the questions I couldn't answer, you can just leave them in the comments after the video is closed. Like once it goes offline, I think it'll open up the comments, and I'll try and take them in the next session. All right. Thank you very much. You guys have a good one. I will see you next Saturday, same time.